Happy Wednesday. It is live backstage with Cindy Rowe, and I am your host, Cindy, with Cindy Rowe Marketing. Every Wednesday, I get the wonderful opportunity to introduce you to a new business owner. And today I have Summer. Hello, Summer. How are you?
Hi, I'm doing good. Thanks for inviting me.
Thank you for coming along. I really appreciate it. So I feel like we've been friends on Facebook for a while, and then in a couple of groups, business groups, and then you ended up coming to a workshop that I hosted with the Rising Professionals. Am I correct on that?
Yep,
Yeah.
you got it.
Wonderful. I am so glad to connect with you in this format. Can you tell everybody, Summer, what it is, what your business is that you have?
So we have A to Z Services. We're located in Beloit, Wisconsin, but we are the leaders of move-out cleaning services in southern Wisconsin and northern Illinois. It's our mission to just take the stress out of the move-out cleaning by offering our services to lighten the load.
And move out, you mean as when somebody moves out of an apartment or a house?
Yes, both. So it can mean a couple of different things. So we do offer market ready services. So those are for people that are getting ready to sell their home, and having people come through. So that is the most routine cleans that we do, is just keeping people ready for selling their home. It also means that if you're moving out of the house, we will clean it from top to bottom before the next person moves in. Or we also offer move-in services, which is essentially the same. We're just making sure the space is clean and sanitized top to bottom before you move into the home or apartment.
That's great. How did you decide to really hone in on that part of the cleaning business? Because I'm sure there are many different areas in the cleaning industry.
Yeah.
So what made you hone in on that? I love the idea, honestly.
So when we started the cleaning business, we did everything from residential cleaning, commercial, and move-outs. Move-outs is my favorite. It gives us an opportunity to literally clean everything. So this year, actually, the beginning of this month. It's not September yet. The beginning of this month, we did narrow it down to move-out cleans. We do still take commercial clients, but we have left the residential cleaning world and is focusing more on the move-outs.
Do you have special requirements for the move out cleans, like from the homeowner or the renter? Like, does it have to be empty before you get in there and clean? So that's the whole, or is it before that?
So we are kind of flexible. We do offer clean outs. So if the home is still full of stuff, for example, if a landlord has a place that the tenant left a lot of belongings there, we will put the clean out service and include the clean out service, so we can empty the house out and then we will go ahead and clean it. I do like to do a walkthrough before we go and clean someone's house. That way the consumers and myself are all on the same page as to what is going to be getting done. I think I answered your question.
Yeah. I wonder, I guess, because you could actually show up thinking the place is empty, and here it is a massive disaster, and whatever you bid or quoted for that job would be completely out of line for the amount of work that you have to do. So, you have to really pay attention to that. How long have you been in business?
This is our third year. We had our third birthday in July. So this year the last 2 years I've done a lot of cleaning, and this year I'm kind of stepping away a little bit and letting my team clean while I oversee everything. And I'm very excited because it's given me the opportunity to incorporate some new things into the business to, help us stand out a little bit. One thing being, we all have completed a certified cleaning training. So we're all certified cleaning technicians. We did that through Maid Academy online. It's an 8-hour training I've incorporated into my hiring process. So in order to be hired on, you'll complete the training and pass the final exam, and then there'll be an official team of A to Z. And then the other thing that I've been working on is just keeping like a 3-person team. I find that it really helps in the cleaning industry to have a few pair of eyes. We're very detailed cleaners, and it helps us just ensure that our customers are going to be satisfied every time.
Yeah. So do you have multiple 3-teams or just the team of
That is
3?
That is the ultimate goal. Right now, I have a 1 3-person team, but we're looking to expand. So we'll have multiple at some point.
That's great. So I am curious because as an entrepreneur, small business owner myself, it's kind of scary to actually step away from the doing of the day-to-day stuff and backing up to be more of the CEO, the operational person. So can you kind of walk me through when you knew it was time to do that?
When I knew it was time to do that. Well, I didn't start the business with the idea that I wanted to clean every day. I actually had in mind when I started this business, I was a social worker, and I saw it was before the pandemic happened, and I saw a need for a great company in the State Line area that could kind of meet their employees where they are and empower them and grow them into leaders. And so that is my goal with this business, is to just create an awesome company that empowers people and helps them grow on their journey. So it is kind of difficult stepping away. But so far I have been very blessed with the employees that I have, and we trust each other, and the communication is on point. So that part of it makes it easier for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So another interesting question about that whole transition. So when you decided that it was time to expand your employees so that you could step away, where did you go and search for the help? Did you put out an ad on Facebook? Did you go to a local agency? Like, what was that process like?
So the first thing I did, actually, when I first started the business, I had reached out to people that I knew that were like-minded and had the same vision for companies that I do. And at that time, I didn't get anybody that was interested, but I kind of just planted that seed. And then the second year in business, I decided I wanted to hire some part-time employees. So I did put an ad out on Facebook. And ironically, some of those people that I had got back in touch with me that I had already known, and were wanting to now join the team. So that's what ended up happening. Is the 2 people that I do have on my team, I did know them before, and I've known them over 10 years. And I think I kind of lucked out a little bit in that sense.
Yeah.
But I'm going to start looking for some new team members in addition to what I have, and I'm going to do the same process of going online to look for recruitment.
Yeah. So as far as marketing for your business, what has worked well for you when you first started, and now that you've kind of honed in on your niche, I should say, really, like where did it begin and where is it now?
It did begin with word of mouth. Um, I've done cleaning on the side for a lot of years, and so people kind of already knew about my skills. And when I started putting the word out, I had people that were willing to back me up and say, yes, this is who she says she is. And also Facebook. I try to advertise a lot on Facebook and just let people know like who I am as a person and what our cleaning company offers. And I'm still doing the same thing as far as marketing. But another thing that I am trying to do now is just network with more people that are, realtors or just in the home space
Yep.
somehow.
That's great. Do you go to like networking events or chamber events or things like that to find these people in the home space? As you phrase it?
This is what I'm starting to do. I just actually started this month, like holding myself accountable to it. Uh,
And now you have everybody else to hold you accountable for. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
That's good though. Speaking of accountability, and we spoke briefly before we went live. You know how entrepreneurship is quite lonely. How do you stay accountable to those day-to-day tasks and focusing on growing and taking your business where you want it to go?
I like to start with the week having a team meeting. And so I tell my team what our plan is for the week, what their plan is, what my plan is for the week. And so with saying that and being a leader, I find that I will hold myself more accountable because I know eyes are watching. um, And I'm just very passionate about growing this business into the vision that I have. So in that sense, it's easy to do what I say I'm going to do because I do have a vision and I'm making my way there.
Yeah. So you mentioned earlier how you want to empower your employees and inspire them to live out their dreams. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because it really sounds like a great culture type of atmosphere, even for the small team that you have currently. So I would love to learn how you do that, or if you can explain a little bit without giving away your trade secrets.
With having the social worker background, I have learned a lot about different people's walks of life, and it's just so different from everyone. And we all have the same goals. Like everybody wants to be a successful person that is comfortable with life. But we're not always at the same place at the same time. And so I find it very important to meet people where they are. So I may hire somebody that's never been a cleaner before, or maybe never even had a job before. And so I will meet them where they are and give them the training and the tools that they need to be a successful employee. And, there may be a time that I want to hire someone as an employee and they go through the background check and that passes, and then they go through the training and maybe they have a hard time taking exams. Like maybe they have test anxiety. And so I will meet them where they are so that I can accommodate them and help them get through that. Or maybe they're not meant for cleaning. Maybe they are just not detail oriented, but they would make a great employee. So I can have the opportunity to find a place for them in the business where they can be successful and grow.
That's wonderful. I think we need more employers like you. That I like how you said it. Meet them where they're at. And I just had a meeting yesterday, and we talked a little bit about that. And I shared a story with them about my daughter who took her very first art class in college. Never had art in high school, and she had this anxiety of, oh my gosh, all these other artists are here that have taken 4 years. They're passionate about art, and then there's just me. And her professor met her where she was at and was like, we are going to, just focus on your talents and learning your skills. And at the end of the semester, he had her put all of her artwork up on the wall so she could actually see her progression.
Very cool.
And because of that, she's now going into interior design school this fall. And you kind of just, you wonder, if people really were able to step back and be like, okay, like you even said, maybe they're not good at taking tests, so let's figure out how I can help them pass this test because I see the potential in them, meeting them where they're at. I think that's amazing, Summer, and I appreciate you for sharing that with us because not a lot of leaders do that. And I feel like you're gonna have a very successful team with that type of leadership.
Thank you. Yes, I'm very passionate about empowering people. I think that everyone deserves a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that you've honed in on your niche and you're going to hopefully start expanding your staff, like what are some other fun goals for your business over the next few years that you would like to have happen? Let's drink.
Okay. A lot of things. I'm very creative and imaginative. But so the next thing I'm going to be working on is securing government contracts.
Nice.
It's a lot to learn, and so I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time on it. And that is one reason why I'm going to be hiring some more people because I need all the help I can get.
Yeah.
What's some fun things? I'm really all about family, and I want to incorporate that into the business. So I am coming up with something where we can have like an annual event where the employees can meet their families. And I don't know exactly what that looks like yet, but that's something that I would like to do.
Those are great. Those are great ideas. The another question as you were talking that popped in my head was, you've been in business for 3 years. You came from social work. You've done cleaning on the side. You love empowering people, but like when you hear somebody have an idea or thinking about, hey, I think I want to start this business, what kind of advice would you give them?
The first thing I would say is do your research. Knowledge is power, and so if you can go into something with having as much knowledge as you can before you start, I would say that you're off to a good start.
Yeah.
The other thing is that it's a brave thing to go out and do something new and be fully reliant on yourself. Like that is one thing that holds me accountable for my mission is I've got bills to pay. So, I every single day I take some kind of action to generate revenue. And when you depend on yourself to make that money every month, it's a brave move. So
yeah, stepping away from corporate and deciding to start your own business is very, very brave and scary, but it's
so worth it.
It's so worth it because if you even if it's in the pit of your heart and your being that this is something that you think you should do, you're going to have more regret if you don't try, right?
Absolutely.
And I just read something, I think it came through my email box. It was like, whatever you do, don't give up yet. And as an entrepreneur, right? Like, don't give up yet. Like, just keep pushing along. Just do one more step forward. And I know at the very beginning, my goodness, it is scary. Like, where's my next client coming from, or what can I do to get out and be known that this is what I'm doing now. It takes a while for people to start coming to you and coming to you for the services. But yeah, has anybody given you any great advice that you are just so grateful for when you started your business?
Yes, I did have someone tell me to just take it one step at a time, just do one thing at a time. Like I mentioned before, I'm very imaginative and I have a million ideas and I would like to do it all at once, but I do know that I can do anything, but I can't do everything. And
Yeah.
so I think that was some real good advice. And the other thing too is like build a support team of entrepreneurs. I'm a part of the State Line Fempreneur group, and I've met so many awesome women that are empowering and just and great leaders and on the same journey. And so it makes it a little less lonely, and you can bounce your ideas off of each other, and yeah, it's all good stuff.
Yeah, I love that. I love when other people are so encouraging of people going after a dream or a passion and just giving you that great advice. And um, so I have one more question. What is your definition of success? Because I don't think I've asked this in a long time, and I love hearing people's answers because they are all different, and it was probably different now than when you started too. So
Definitely. My definition of success. Well, success for myself is just living authentically, and something important to me is just when I do something, I do it with my whole heart. And so I feel like success to me is being able to do something and putting my whole heart into it.
yeah, that's a great answer. I love it. And so the one another thing I haven't asked in a while that it just kind of popped in my head when you were saying live authentically is there you know a resource or a book that you would highly suggest somebody reading or referencing if they're looking to start a business or to keep them motivated through the business? I'm a reader now. I was not always, but I read 10 pages of a good book a day, and it has helped me tremendously through this journey.
Yes, I also love reading. I would pick reading a book over watching TV any day, but I read a lot of things. I don't Not one book is standing out to me, but I will say that when I first started this journey, I didn't know a whole lot about business. I've worked as a social worker. I worked in the restaurant industry for 15 years. I learned a lot from my amazing boss over at Beloit Family Restaurant. But I don't have a certain book. I I learned a lot about credit and business credit
Mm,
and just how that works, because business credit and personal credit is very different from each other.
yeah, yes.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know that business credit even existed. And so I just really dove into that. I use resources like the SBA website. I use that a lot to get information. I've learned how to write a business plan. Um, just,
Do you
oh,
have a marketing plan? You're
oh yeah, I'm
you
getting
are
there.
with a lot of people.
Not yet.
But you have a business plan. So I think it was right around the beginning of 2020. I did a workshop for um, the Belvedere Chamber, and I had asked. There was a ton of people in this room, and I had asked by a raise of hands, who has a business plan? And I think there was like 3 people, 3 businesses. So the fact that you have a business plan, kudos to you for that. You can work on your marketing plan. And especially now that I feel like that might be a great step for you now that you have your niche honed in on the people you want to serve. And it doesn't even have to be scary and super detailed, but it could be like, these are the action steps I need to take for this, result. And I think it would help you kind of stay the course, right?
I totally agree.
So we are at the end of the show where I like to pass it off to my guests to share more in detail about their business. I will put up how to find you, but Summer, go ahead and tell everybody again what it is you do and how they can find you.
Well, we are A to Z Services. We specialize in move out cleanings. We also provide commercial cleaning. So if you need help in your life when you're moving, you want it a little hassle-free, simple, convenient, you can give us a call at 608-346-8092, or you can find us online.
Wonderful.
I will say that right now I am working on creating a very simple online booking. So if you go to our Facebook, you can access our online booking there. You'll book an appointment. I'll come through and we'll do a walkthrough together. At that time, I'll give the pricing for the job. And then if you decide that you're going to move forward with us, you'll go back online, book your appointment, and then you'll see us there.
Awesome. And is it typical, like the time frame of, how far in advance should I be thinking that I want to use your services if I'm, 1, going to sell my house, or 2, I've just sold my house and I don't want to
To ensure that you can get booked right away, I would say plan a few weeks out. But I do like even with my employees, with customers, I try to meet you where you are. So if we need to make something happen in a short amount of time, most likely we can do that.
Yeah, that's great. I know, because I just sold my house a couple of years ago. Actually, it was 1.5 years ago, but it would have been nice to know you existed then, because that was such a pain in the butt. And I feel like I'm a pretty clean, I keep my home pretty clean. But
It's
yeah,
all the stuff we don't think about.
Oh, in the basement, that was like the worst.
Yeah.
Do you have a room in the house that you absolutely hate cleaning? Personally, not for the business, but personally.
Personally, I am not a fan of doing dishes. I will clean the whole entire house if somebody else will do the dishes.
I love that. Yeah, I don't like doing dishes either, but I don't like to have like a sink full of dishes either. But
I do want to say one thing is, even if you have the cleanest house in the world, when you move, when you take all of the belongings out of the house, it just creates a mess anyways. And I consider cleaning self-care. So I know a lot of people feel ashamed when they hire a cleaner to come into the house, but you're just taking care of yourself.
That's That's a great way to end that, really, honestly. I know, because when we moved I felt like I kept a pretty clean household. And then when we moved everything out, and even just seeing where like beds have stayed for 3 years, and like, oh, gross, I didn't get to, but yeah. And I definitely wanted it to be perfect for the new homeowner. And yeah, so that I didn't look bad on the other end either. Oh, goodness. Well, thank you so much, Summer. It was a pleasure having you guys. If you are thinking of selling your home or have recently sold your home and you need somebody to clean, give them a reach out on Facebook. Go ahead and like their page, check out their website as well, and make your life that much easier, because moving is hard enough anyway. Thanks again, Summer. It was great to have you on here and learn more about your business. Everybody, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.